I'm Patrick.
This is Will.
And I'm Chris, and we are Guys with Issues. And in today's issue, it's Ion Part 2.
Yeah.
Part 2.
I don't know. I on board for this. I don't know. I got nothing. So, Patrick.
Yeah.
Banterman.
What's up?
Do you have any banter?
Well, let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a spring fling on Saturday.
Did you fling a lot of springs?
I knew that was. Oh my gosh! I was like, here it comes.
Yes.
Were there springs to fling?
No.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I did go to a photo booth.
Wait, I'm sorry. My brain was trying to relate.
People can take pictures of you?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
While he's flinging springs.
On Flinging Springs. It was a lot of fun. Got a really good pretzel from Ben's Pretzels.
One of the big pretzels.
One of them big pretzels.
Dem big. Is that what it says on the menu?
I don't know.
Dem big pretzel.
with a cheddar cup.
Here's a fun question for the two of you. When you get pretzels,
Yeah.
do you prefer to have a cheddar cheese or a nacho cheese?
I think cheddar cheese is better.
Cheddar's better?
Cheddar's
I think I
better.
would prefer cheddar as well.
Yeah. Nice. Same.
Sweet.
Cool.
Typically I do too, but there's a time and a place for nacho cheese.
Sure.
And I like that on a pretzel, but I do prefer just like good cheddar cheese.
Yeah, just don't try to take somebody else's nacho cheese.
Because it's nacho cheese.
Right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Good job, Pat.
Yeah, thanks.
So you had fun at Spring Fling.
I did.
You had your picture taken and you ate a pretzel.
Pretty much.
I was going to ask something about that.
Met a whole bunch of people.
Oh,
I felt like a giant.
Is everybody small there? Besides the fact there were children.
There was a lot of children, but I think I was the tallest person there the entire time I was there.
You were the tallest person
the entire time I was there. Yes, I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah.
He went to Munchkin Land.
I know, right?
Then I walk
Straight.
into a classroom and all the tables and stuff are so tiny.
Well, yeah, it's an elementary school.
I know. It still felt like a giant. I don't know what to tell you.
You're like, I'm telling you, I felt like a giant.
I understand
Period.
the reasoning.
Sorry to back us up a little bit on this, but where the popularity of the activity of axe throwing has grown, where there are several locations in our area now
Sure.
where you can go throw axes.
Right.
Wouldn't that be interesting if they just had like spring flinging, like you put it on something and it's like a heavy coiled spring and you pull it back and it just launches at itself? People would probably pay to do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, have like a big pegboard kind of bullseye thing, so you try to get it to like slide onto pegs. Anyway,
I mean, it's not the same thing, but there's this guy on YouTube that does crazy slinky tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Slinky is not that far off of a spring.
That's what I was thinking of.
I mean, it is a spring technically, isn't it? Kind of.
I mean, sort of.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a coil.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, but he'll like do this thing where he's like at somewhere, he's doing the crazy tricks, and he can do one where he like flicks it out and it'll like land on your head and then come back, and he'll just like go around and like land it on people's heads.
Nice.
Yeah. I've seen stuff like that too. It's pretty fun to watch.
It is.
I'm going to start doing that to my children, see if I can do that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Make
I'll
it
be like,
we'll make
listen.
like a superhero. Make him like Slinky Man.
Slinky
and he has like these super powered slinkies, and he'll like, what shot? And like hits the bad guy in the face and comes back to his hand.
And he always slinks around.
That's how he walks.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
And his partner will be Squirrel Girl.
I'd read that.
Well, yeah, Squirrel Girl's in it.
Right.
Were you going to say anything else about Spring Fling?
I don't think so.
No?
I had
You were
fun.
a
It was
giant pretzel-eating photo man.
Right.
What about you, Will?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I went to Costco the other day, and I hadn't been in a while, so I was kind of checking out their random stuff that they kind of like
The
rotate out.
seasonal rotation stuff?
Yeah. And like, I had this kind of strange interaction with this old lady.
I was
Like,
hoping you were going to say it was a person and not
Yeah.
one of the items.
Yeah. So like, I was exiting the aisle and about to turn, but then like, kind of like limited sight, and someone was right there, so I stopped. I'm like, oh yeah, you can go on through. And this old couple kind of goes by, and then the wife, she may have been on certain stage of dementia. She didn't seem like she was entirely there. She just kind of like turns around, and she's like, "Man, you're a true gentleman." And I'm like, "Thanks, I try." And she's like, "No, thank you." And she was like so sincere about it. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. I literally just let you walk in front of me. I didn't do anything. And then she just like wouldn't stop staring. So I'm like, I'm just going to scoot around and be like, sir, your wife is still back there.
Maybe that's
because he
just
didn't
how
stop.
rare nice gestures are.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Maybe.
I think you're a stand-up guy,
Oh,
Will.
thank you. Well, I'm sitting down right now, but
Yeah, in your short chair.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dag nabbit. I feel like I had something to share, but I don't think I do.
yeah, I didn't really have anything. That was the only strange thing that's happened to me lately.
I'm going to C2E2 this coming weekend.
Oh, yes.
So we get to hear about that next week. Yay.
Yeah, you're like, I don't have to provide all the banter.
Banta.
Yeah, my wife was supposed to be gone last weekend, and then plans changed while she was en route to Indianapolis. She had to turn around and come back. So
That stinks.
ended up being home, and next weekend I am gone. So, yeah, I'll report
Busy
in.
time.
I might cosplay. There's a chance.
Ooh.
What are you going to go as?
Have I not shown you the picture?
Nope.
Oh, he hasn't seen it. That is an embarrassing picture.
It kind of is. Also amazing at the same time.
Well, after this, I'll show you.
Oh, yes.
But I haven't decided if I'm going to do it. I'm tempted just to force myself to see what it's like.
Do it one time.
Well, I'm planning on
One
doing
time.
it in August. I have a much more elaborate costume.
Do it 2 times.
Dude.
Try anything twice, okay?
Okay,
my motto.
so I'm trying.
Just to make sure the first time wasn't a fluke.
No, right?
I might go as Nightwing. I have a Nightwing suit.
Oh, okay,
A
cool.
cheap one that I got just for kicks for some reasons, and if I put all the parts together that I'm still missing, this what would have been when this airs, it will actually have been last week. I will have already attended C2E2 when this comes out.
Right.
This issue comes out. So, but next week I will share whether or not I went in costume and what that experience was like overall. But anyway, more to come.
Right.
News
More to
at
come?
9.
Mordecai?
I almost said Mordecai. Oh my gosh.
I also picked up a new air fryer.
Yeah,
was a
it looks
French
fancy.
door air fryer.
Oh, French
Oh.
door.
A French door air fryer.
You can make that fancy stuff.
You
Yeah.
can make croissants.
You can proof bread in it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. It,
I
no, it has a specific setting for that.
I know what
So
I'm saying.
how much does bread actually need to prove itself before you know it's bread?
Well, that's not what I said,
Wow.
but I like it. It's good.
The bread or the air
I
fryer?
like what Will said.
Oh, I like.
And he also likes bread, and he also likes his air fryer.
That's all correct.
So
How
the
mu-
answer is yes.
Have you
All of
used
it.
the air fryer much yet?
Well, I used it once. I got it a couple days ago.
See, I find once you have a good air fryer, though,
There's no
you
going
use
back.
it almost every day. Like you can incorporate it to almost all aspects of your cooking,
Well, you see,
and you
have
don't
to-
need a microwave anymore.
You have to remember, I don't cook much here anymore because I don't eat much anymore.
And when you do cook, it's a batch and you eat the same thing like every day.
Sure.
So you're just going to make something that to reheat, you use the air fryer.
Right. I'm going to use it again once you guys leave today.
Oh, you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Not good enough to be here for when he uses
Wow. That while we're here. But my dad's cousin told me that he likes his air fryer for making pork chops.
Yeah.
Because like he gets like this nice crust on the outside
Sure.
and it's still nice on the inside.
Right.
And
Now I have a big enough one. I can do that.
True.
he says
Will and I had pork chops at one 10 years ago. That was so good.
I still think
Anyway,
about those sometimes.
I do too.
That was still a great experience because we were sitting there eating and I don't know if we knew he
It
was
was
the
the
owner
owner.
at the
Yeah.
time, but there was just the guy at the bar. He's like, hey, we weren't going to get kicked out if we like pick this up and eat it with our hands. And he says, I might kick you out if you don't.
I've heard this story.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever said it on air.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But yeah, so I picked up a pork loin while I picked up the air fryer.
Is that what you cooked already?
Not yet.
That's your tonight cook.
No.
Oh.
Tomorrow?
Your
Maybe.
foreshadowing is terrible.
Wednesday? Exactly what day are you going to put that in there? We need to know.
So you can come over.
When are you making
I mean-
the pork loin?
I don't
This
know
weekend?
yet. Maybe.
He's withholding
going-
information.
Is
I
it
was
a
going to
seasoned
make it-
pork loin or a regular one
It's a regular one that I will season.
that you will personally
Yes.
season? Cool.
I don't know. I was going to make it last weekend, but it just didn't happen.
I see.
So yeah, and I have to eat leftovers, or they will go bad, and I don't want that.
That is true.
So I'm reheating some leftovers tonight. That's what I'm doing.
My brother
Nice.
learned that one the hard way last week.
Oh no!
He ate some old leftovers. That was like just over a week.
Wow.
And boy, did that mess him up.
Yeah,
for a
that
while.
will
Dude.
definitely mess you up.
Food poisoning's no joke, man.
It is not.
It's so bad. So you get it one time and you're like, never again. I'm going to be overly cautious for the rest of my life.
Pretty much.
And then you get it again. It's like, why?
As long as it's not from the same mistake.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's different if it's like something you can't control. Like there are going to be times where food has spoiled or it's got a germ that you're unaware of, like, or a bacteria is
The
what I should
worst,
say.
the worst is when you get it when you go out to eat.
Well, yeah, I mean, you
'Cause
have
then it's
no
like
control over that
Completely random.
or real proof.
And now you're like very skeptical.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Very skeptical.
Yeah, I haven't been.
Hey, you didn't mention, by the way, that you had pretzels the day after your big pretzel, too.
I haven't got to my day after.
Oh, you had tag nabbit, man. What else do you have for us?
Come on, Bantaman.
Sometimes Bantaman reminds me of The Return of the King because it's got like 4 endings. Still a great movie.
No, what I was gonna say is on Sunday I actually didn't have anything going on
For the first time
for the
in
first time,
aeons.
and since we started this podcast, since before we started this podcast. Anyway,
Which
but
has
I
almost
did,
been a year.
But I did go to a grocery store and they have the the pretzel bites that you really like, Will.
Oh,
With
yes,
the beer
yes.
cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But they
yeah.
had a little $5 canister that was about yay big,
Oh,
with not very many in it, and then the cheese, the
Instead
beer
of a
cheese
platter.
instead of a platter. Oh, I picked that up and finished it off. It was great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Now Will's thinking, maybe I should stop.
Oh,
and-
I'm definitely thinking that. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
over there with their like pre-made sandwiches and salads
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. If you want to look,
So it's in like the refrigerated deli section across
Yes.
from where the platter would
correct.
be.
Yep,
There you go.
Sweet.
Will's going to be there after recording.
right. And I really hope
I'm
it
actually
brings me
going after
one
recording. Not for that.
next recording.
Yeah, we're going to bring them for you.
Yeah, just bring me one. That's fine.
I mean, Will's not that far from the store.
right.
Like that.
Thanks, Will.
We could have snacks while we record. So here's your.
You know, I had a conversation about that today, coincidentally,
Snacks.
and I was like, "We
Or
don't
recording.
eat while we
No, we
record,"
don't.
and they were like, "I meant before or after." That's the conversation that
Oh,
I
yeah,
was,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like,
We did that a few times.
"Eat before or after?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Back when it was on the weekend,
Right.
we don't typically now.
No.
Now that we
Man.
record on a weeknight.
We should do that just one night, though.
Yeah, we could. We just have to plan it ahead of time so we're all aware that we're going to be here longer.
Just like NASA.
Plan it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So
moving on. Is there any?
Do you have any other
No,
tidbits?
no. I just wanted to point out that I didn't have something going on a day.
Wow. But you did have pretzels.
I did have pretzels. They were very tasty.
Maybe that would motivate you to keep your schedule freer.
Pretzels?
Yeah, say
100%.
any of the days that I have absolutely nothing going on. That includes like having to do stuff with people online or whatever. So very simple days. You say, I get to go get pretzels.
And beer cheese.
I might not have anything going on ever again.
All of a sudden, he's the least active person, but he's like, yeah, unfortunately, my amazing journey of weight loss hit a hard stop.
Has ended.
But for the right reasons.
Pretzels.
For those pretzels
Right.
with the beer cheese.
With the beer cheese.
I mean, if you're gonna have the hard stop, that's right. That's
Right.
the one thing that anybody who's had them's like, oh, I get it.
So I made some chicken nuggets with the air fryer. Put the beer cheese on it.
Oh, here I was going to ask if you put
really
your Asian mustard on
Well,
it.
no, I did that for the rest of them.
Man, I love that.
It is
I've
so
never
good.
forgotten how good that is.
It's just
That
stupid
spicy
good.
Asian mustard on nuggets. So good.
So good.
It's
well,
true.
I mean, you're preferential to mustard anyway, so
Dang.
It's still like really, it's stupid good.
in his preferred condiments, I think mustard rates pretty high.
I agree. I wouldn't say the same for me, and I still say that
that's
mustard
way
on
up there.
chicken
Oh, yeah.
nuggets is the best.
Nice.
Like McDonald's is screwing up by not offering that as a dip.
Do you think their hot mustard is a derivative of that, though?
No,
You don't think so?
I've had it. It's not nearly as good.
Well, it has to be more mellow for people. That's the thing. Is like
It's not that spicy.
what
Well, some
the-
people think ketchup is
The
spicy.
ghost pepper chicken sandwich from Wendy's is much spicier.
I'm not. Yeah, but that you're going. You're like, okay. I'm saying this is just a dip. They want. Anyway, this is. I don't know what they want. I don't understand
They want
fast food.
people-
It costs me so much money to buy my children fast food now. Here's an old man rant. Back when I worked.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, when I worked at McDonald's 20 plus years ago,
Right.
and you could buy a Big Mac meal for $3.50, which I get. Okay,
Wait,
whatever.
so Will's age?
No.
20 plus years ago?
Wow.
We're not that far apart.
Will, did you get off of McDonald's today? But here's the, well, no, Will, it's close to 20 years. It's low 20s. So anyway, but I was thinking about this because I bought my kids McDonald's the other day. We don't do that often. And it blew my mind to realize that like the cost of feeding a person at McDonald's is almost on par with like
A sit-down restaurant.
going out and sitting
Yes.
down.
Yes, it is.
That is nuts because the food quality is not equal.
It is not
Nope.
just McDonald's. It's all fast food restaurants. now.
Especially if you're talking about like a Mexican restaurant. Like I'm talking about authentic Mexican food
That's what I want
where
for
you're getting
supper.
like tacos or something simple like that. You can get like the 3 tacos we get on a Friday is cheaper than McDonald's and like 1,000 times more delicious.
Yes. 100%.
Absurdities.
Yep.
Absolute absurdity.
Yep, it is.
It just blows my mind.
Anyway, I've heard of a new Mexican restaurant up in Mishawaka,
When
right
we're
next
going.
to Hooters, and a Mexican guy at work was telling me about it, and he says it's really good. So if it's coming from another Mexican guy,
That's like when I was at the Indian restaurant and saw the Indian people come in and start ordering food, and I'm like, well, I know this has to be a good place to get Indian food. Then
I know, right? We'll have to go.
I work under the presumption that if you are of a background that has a specific food type and you suggest a restaurant or eat at a restaurant of your ethnic background's food type. So for us, it'd be like us eating at Okinawa, right? Because we eat hamburgers because we have a German background. But anyway.
Well, Welsh, but close enough.
Okay. So that's Welsh and German are not close. Okay.
I mean, relatively to us, yeah.
But the reality is, it's like, yeah, you know, we're Americans. We like good hamburgers. We go out, we make them at home. But if we're going to go out and get them, we want to get a good one.
Right.
And so that's what I think is like, even if you come from like an Indian background, and you make traditional food at home, let's say you still cook traditionally, when you go out, if you're eating at a specific Indian restaurant, that's going to be one that I want to eat at.
Sure.
So, yeah. Anyway. So is this the part where we read it on email or do
email.
Our special event?
Let's do email first.
Emails.
Emails.
So
we've got one from Christoph.
Oh, long-time listener, first-time emailer.
He might be insulted by that. It's titled DEA Investigation Started.
This is interesting to me because I saw this, but I didn't get to read it. So I'm in the blind too.
It says, hey guys, got an interesting letter in the mail the other day from the United States Drug Enforcement Agency wanting to set up an interview with all the people who know Will. They're interested in his thoughts on DMT. Not sure what that is all about. I'm still catching up on the reading list as I have found out that I'm too old to read comics on my phone and had to start using a tablet.
I feel you.
Right.
I like using my PC. I'm not.
I use my PC occasionally, but it's still
I like how wide it is and nice and clear.
Actually, if you would sit your monitor vertically instead of horizontally, that'd be a big comic page.
It would.
Right.
That's an idea.
Anyway, a sentient planet with a sentient city. Where does it end? A sentience sentence.
Yes.
I'm glad the episode swear jar is getting a good workout. The timing on Logan and I emails was just perfect. Time to solidify the new Will reads all the emails on air section for sure.
Done.
Loved the puns. Even didn't mind the length, even though it took me 3 days to finish listening to it. Keep up the great work. Yours sincerely, the Shaka Boomiest, the Trekkie, the first emailer, the longest emailer, surely now the most faithful listener, the Trekkie Lorder Supreme, the actual reader of the comics, the more emailer than Logan, right? The holder of the truth about fries, the no longer saddest Christoph.
When's he going to add the longest sign offer?
Probably
next time he emails.
Thank you, Christoph.
Thank you, Christoph.
And yeah, Will's got lots of thoughts on DMT. In fact, I saw a funny video the other day where something happened and it slingshotted a guy through space. And one of the top comments in the video was, "Oh, for a second, I thought that guy was doing DMT." And I screenshot that, and I never sent it to Will, but I immediately thought of him. So,
Yep.
Yeah. So the DEA, whatever, we have those listeners that are out of the country. One of them could be a DEA agent.
It's possible.
Could be.
So
I could be in some trouble.
Well, no, not really, considering you keep saying that you haven't had it, but you keep wanting to.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows how to get Will DMT, email us at
Wow.
If you want to help Will break the law.
and
leave a
break
paper
his
trail.
Mind. It's okay. It's hosted on Patrick's servers, so...
That's not technically accurate anymore.
I know. Oh, shoot. So now we have a special segment.
Special
called
segment.
Do You Yerba Mate? And the answer is yes, we do. We're about to. Since this discussion has been on multiple issues now.
Right.
From a throwaway comment.
We have the gourd, we have the straws, and we have the willpower.
Oh, yes.
So willpower... Why don't you pick up that gourd, since you were the one that mentioned it that began this whole shebang, and take it.
The gourd is nice and warm.
You can't have it out of a cold gourd. You need a warm gourd.
Yeah, it's very pleasant in the hand.
Okay, here he goes.
No. Look at that face.
That's not what I was expecting at all.
He's really thinking about what he thinks.
Trying it again.
The face he's making, I keep thinking he's going to blow bubbles.
We do.
It's not bad, actually.
Is this a pro or a con face?
We do need to get him one of those.
Like a pipe?
Bubble pipe, yeah.
Okay. And we do agree that this smells like a rabbit cage, right?
I didn't think it
Yeah.
It smells like a barn or something. No wonder you farmers drinking yerba mate. Okay, Okay.
It's not what you would expect it to be.
Does it taste grassy? Don't tell me. Don't.
Just try it. He's trying it. He is also making a face.
I don't know what that's like. Here,
Exactly.
Patrick. Here, Patrick.
And true to what I said, I tried it twice.
You did.
Was it better the second time?
It was the exact same the second time.
Which means I don't have to try it twice.
I'm curious. I cannot imagine Patrick's going to enjoy that. He's shaking his head no.
No, it's too green tea-ish.
Yeah, it's that. It's
Yeah.
that.
See, I don't mind green tea, so maybe that's why I was like,
Probably.
Maybe.
Anybody want a second?
I'll take another drag on that.
oh,
gourd.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see why.
The Will method. Anything worth trying is worth trying twice.
I can see why my sister didn't like it. It's the green tea flavor. If you like green tea, I'm sure you'd enjoy it immensely.
It's like bitey on the tongue
Yeah.
a little bit.
I like drinks
You know
that
what I
bite
mean?
back. Yeah. I drink whiskey.
It's a shame you didn't mix it with booze. No.
Ah, there you go.
Just take a drink of it and then drink your old fashioned. He's gonna try. Is he gonna try?
Yeah, he's trying.
He's chasing it with the old fashioned. Does it pair well with alcohol?
The alcohol's too strong.
Just
overpowers it.
Wipes the slate. Let me take a sip of that. This is your old fashioned?
Yep. It's just like a nice premix I got from Costco.
Yep. And now that taste is completely.
That's why you wanted it. There you go.
Just wipes everything out.
I don't think it's bad.
No, it's
I
not
see.
bad.
I see what you mean with the green tea. It is interesting though.
It is.
It's like deeply earthy.
Yeah.
You know what it kind of has like a weird vibe of this is what it keeps making me think.
Hey.
That
It's
the
like-
tongue hit that I get is like smoking a pipe. It
A
kind of
little
has a
bit.
pipe vibe to it. It's like green tea meets pipe smoking.
It's like taking a mouthful of sod.
You would know.
Probably.
I mean, I guarantee you, in some of your farm work, you probably have taken it unintentionally.
Unintentionally.
But, well, wow. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for providing quality entertainment to our listener.
Sure.
Dan
Quality.
the man.
I like that the minute Patrick started drinking that straw, though, his head started shaking. He was like, no.
No.
But it was as you had predicted for the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Now, we've all had yerba mate, one of us more than once.
Will
apparently-
definitely drank several.
I mean,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than one setting.
You have.
Yes.
But Will probably drank as much as you, period, at this
Probably.
point. I'm just kidding. What's up, Will? You got a synopsis, Roomba?
Yep. I got
Roomba's about to...
about to Roomba your synopsis.
Okay.
In part 2 of Ion, some of the pieces of the mysterious puzzle surrounding Kyle Rayner started to fall into place. Sorry, I almost called him Kyle Gardner.
Kyle Gardner, huh?
Yeah, I was like, I gotta make a correction because that's not the right name. Brain doing work. Kyle is paid a visit by a strange bald man who is known as a monitor. Kyle attempts to make amends for some of the destruction caused by Nero when Guy shows up and informs him his mother is gravely ill. Kyle rushes to his mother's side only to be torn away when the Guardians call him to investigate the people trying to destroy them. While investigating a secret base in an asteroid, he runs into his once-dead ex-girlfriend Donna. They have to team up to defeat the son of Darkseid Graven. Is he the true mastermind behind it all, or is there an even greater threat against the Guardians? Find out today on Guys with Issues.
That's so Graven.
It's so Graven.
But yeah. This I Would you agree? So Patrick and I had a brief talk on this at work today. Very short.
Off air.
Yeah.
How dare you?
So, but did you think that this arc had a pretty different vibe from the prior?
Completely different.
Yeah.
Like the last 6 and the first 6 are just.
Even though they're connected, they feel very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought
Which
so.
kind of worked out well for the podcast because we only read 6, and it had like a natural conclusion at the 6th. I felt, and then like 7 through 12, just kind of because when I'm going into it, I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna like be a weird break after 6 because it's 12 altogether, but it definitely split itself in half for our sake very well.
Yeah, comics tend to do pretty well with arcs like that, I think. Like, we've seen that quite a bit, I think.
Yeah. So it's now canon that Will thinks that slingshotting a spaceship into space is a clean break.
Yep.
That's how you know.
Right.
Like, so any of you who've been interested in Will because he's a hot young single, just know that if he wants a clean break with you, you're going to space.
Going to space.
If I break out that slingshot, you know it's time to go.
That's how it works.
Yeah. He was going to say something and he stopped. He was just like, no. Instead he drank.
Anyway.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, who knew besides Will?
Besides Will.
Who could predict what might have come out of that pie
Right.
hole?
Oh.
So, Patrick,
Yes.
did you have a favorite part?
I did, and it's going to sound like I'm a horrible person, but I liked all the emotions and stuff that happened after Kyle's mom died.
I knew you were going to say something about the mom dying when you were talking about your preface.
Right.
So go into that a little bit. So Kyle's mom gets sick and dies.
Yes.
Okay. So explain why you like the section that comes after her death.
Because of how emotional it felt and it made me feel. And
do you mean
and all the
so which part specifically are you referring to?
right when his mom died, to the page that was all white and Kyle was
Oh, I did like that.
kneeling on the ground.
That splash
Or
page.
not really kneeling, but yes.
Like, because in this, he rushes back after fighting Graven.
Right.
And guy's like, I'm sorry, she's dead. We tried everything because Kilowog was there, Guy was there, and Naratu was there. She's a doctor, and she was trying to.
Not to.
What did I say?
Noratu. You actually combined her first name Soranik and her last name Natu.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's canon now.
We're having all these canon events.
I know. She was trying to save
Yeah,
Kyle's
she was trying
mom,
to save Kyle's
and
mom.
she's like, I've never seen anything like this in any world I've ever been on.
Right.
And she had her medical construct trying to save her life. Kyle's mom passes away. Kyle shows up. Guy's like, I'm sorry, she's gone. And Kyle, with all his new ion powers, is like, no, I can still save her, and like animates her body, which is very much kind of like a throwback to what Hal did with Coast City.
Yeah.
I think
a
I
little
saw
bit.
that.
I thought that.
Yeah.
I thought about that. They modern Green Lanterns have actually brought back some of that, like ring having crazy power stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And how the mom's like, this isn't right. You need to stop it.
Yeah, she's like, part of me is gone.
Right.
Yeah.
The true part. And she's like, there was another lantern that couldn't let go. And I'm like, that is a really good line. And he kind of closes his eyes and accepts it. And
Right.
turns it off. And then that splash page where it's all white. And it's like in the bottom corner. He's just like holding her body and crying. And it's
Yeah. Yeah. It was
a really good
It was
portrayal
very-
of those emotions.
it's very well written. Very well written.
Yeah, I was
That's where,
trying to bring
that's where
that
you can
page-
use that clip.
Right.
Oh, the speaking thing.
Yeah. That was not a very good sentence.
That was not a very good sentence.
But yes, that was a good part. Very good part.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I enjoyed it.
What about you, Will?
We're doing favorite scenes.
Yeah.
I like the
favorite scene.
Scenes from that.
the coffee shop issue
Okay.
when he's talking to the the guy named Rad, I think.
The
I like
coffee
that too.
shop
Yeah, I
owner.
like that.
Yeah. And it's like, he's in the coffee shop, and then it kind of flashes back to like the guy in his studio at the artist resort, and then it kind of flashes, he comes back to the present, he's still talking to him, and like the coffee shop guy is basically his therapist now.
Yeah.
He's just like, because the guy at
Because
the coffee shop.
he lived above the coffee shop. I've read some of Kyle's run and the apartment above the coffee shop because he said it's rented out. But that's actually after his girlfriend dies. That's where he goes and lives, I believe.
Which one?
The first one. the fridge incident, I believe, is right before that. That's when he moves to New York.
Right.
I believe. Sorry, I was professoring.
It's okay.
It's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But yeah, so you enjoyed...
Yeah. I just thought it was, kind of clever, well done.
Something that stood out to me in these issues was that he has a handful of people in his life that are his normal, like, everyday friends, like the coffee shop owner, who, and even his mom, who knew he was Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate when the character has some people close to them that actually know their secret identity.
Yeah.
I thought
Who
that was
are
cool.
non-superheroes.
Just
There's
like Blue
ordinary.
Beetle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of the dynamics that makes that interesting.
Yep. Sorry for interrupting, Will. What were you saying?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Both of those scenes are ones that I also thought were good. I didn't really write down a specific scene, so I will say I think that the whole segment with him resurrecting his mom and talking with her one last time was really powerfully done. Like it was,
Yes.
I read it today on the day that I went to a funeral. So
Wow.
that was, it's just interesting because it really makes you think about the connections you have with people in life. And so, I'll pick that too. A runner-up would have been, I also considered the coffee shop scenes. I have a couple others. Patrick, do you have one? Do you have any others?
All I want to say is the old secret base inside an asteroid gag never goes out of style.
You liked that?
I did. Just that line, that was great.
With all the weaponers of cord in the
Right.
inside.
Mm-hmm.
Dead ones. Mm-hmm. Dead weaponers of cord. Anyway.
Actually,
Did
know
you
how
have another?
I always complain about the weird boxes?
The thought boxes.
The thought boxes, yeah. With the inner dialogue.
narrative boxes.
They actually did something clever with them in this one, in which Donna was trying to talk to him.
Yes, and they put him
had
over.
They had her speech bubbles, but then like he's not really listening to what
Right.
she's saying.
He was
He's,
thinking
like,
about her.
thinking about her, but they put all those boxes over the dialogue boxes. I'm like, you know what? I actually like that.
Yeah, that was good.
It was and then she goes, "Are you listening to me?"
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's the one that gets like painted over his thought box. It was really smart.
It was, yeah.
It was.
It was good.
Because you can kind of read what she's saying in the.
Yeah, she was talking about the monitors.
Yeah.
Because I still read what you could see
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I thought that was fun. But he's just like, "Wow, she's so pretty," because it's his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
Good times.
Did you have another favorite? Did you have any other parts you enjoyed?
I like the segment where he was like at the gravesite and it had like all the people and he was talking about how at the beginning everybody's kind of around and then as time goes on everybody else kind of moves on and slowly as the panels progress it's just him alone.
Yeah,
Right.
at the end.
Like
Yeah, that was really good.
That was another really strong emotional moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Patrick?
Nope.
The only other one, I had two. I really like the part when Graven does that classic bad guy line, and you can insert whatever you want to be connected. But when he goes, "How's your mom?" After Kyle knew that they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her,
Right.
and that just showed that he somehow had something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know.
It
My
was-
brain just had a moment of connecting dots from something later that I
Ooh.
anyway. Oh,
Chris just had a realization. But no, that's not always. When he said that, the first thing that popped in my head was Destiny 2, when like Cade 6 dies, and he's like, "How's your sister?"
how's your sister?
Like any
But
last
that's what
words?
yeah.
And he's like, "Not always a bad guy, but like, Cade, yeah, it was." That's always like a good line.
Yeah, like something that just bites him, right?
Yeah.
And so he said that as the bad guy. Mm-hmm. And Kyle opened up a energy can on that
Oh yeah.
guy. It was good. It was a good moment. The other part I really liked. If neither of you have, do you have any others? Well,
I don't think so.
I don't want to. I don't want to steamroll you. I like the final page where they're like, "But who was doing all of this?" And because we saw the Weaponers of Cord, I don't know if you guys remembered, but they talk about, maybe in Rebirth or maybe somewhere, they talk about Sinestro's ring being made in like the antimatter dimension, like where he got blasted to, when it's like, oh, bad guy escaped into the
Yeah,
whatever.
I can't remember that.
Yeah.
But the Weaponers of Cord that were dead are the ones that forged Sinestro's ring. Which is why when they're like, who's behind all this? And then you have that final page
Right.
that shows all the yellow rings going out.
Okay.
And we've already seen one of the rings go to Arkillo in that single panel, that single
yeah.
page in the other issue. So the foreshadowing, and it says like, to be continued in Tales of the Sinestro Corps. And that's a one-shot that we'll read. I don't know if you guys saw that box at the very bottom.
I did.
Of the
Yes.
page,
And I went
so.
through the reading list to make sure that was actually...
It's part of the Sinestro Corps War. It's the issue that comes, I think, right before it. But I love how everything has like that kind of build up. You can just tell that the first event, the big crossover event that's coming up, is they're just building it up so well. So that was one of my favorite parts, because I know what's coming, but how well done all of the breadcrumbs are being laid. But I'd never read this, so this was my first time reading.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd never
I think
read
you said that
Ion.
last week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
I did.
ago?
Yeah.
Oh.
I had owned it and I hadn't read it, so I'd picked it up and never gotten to it. Did you have a favorite character? Was it Guy for letting Kyle know that his... No, I'm just kidding. Patrick has an unenthused face.
How dare you?
Favorite character?
I'm going to say Kilowog again.
Dude, when the doctor answers the door and
Right?
he's like...
That was amazing.
See, I knew you'd like Kilowog. I knew he'd be one of your favorites
He really
the
is.
whole time.
He's great.
so good.
He is.
Wog.
Wog.
Thanks, Wog.
Thanks, Wog.
Poozer. What about you, Will?
Number one, it's got to go to Coffee Shop Guy.
Coffee shop guy.
His name is Rad or Rav. I can't remember.
I think it's Rav.
Rav.
I think that sounds right.
It's like, he's got the best coffee in New York.
Yeah, I liked his interactions a lot as well.
Yeah. He's like, I sold out of those donuts. I was like, darn.
But I saved
I
you.
saved you one, Kyle.
And then he's like, I have something else for you. And he's like, is it a second donut?
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. Like,
That's funny. I was also going to give it to Rav.
oh, really?
Yeah, I really was.
Dang.
He was a good
We're
character.
vibing.
Vibing.
Do you have any other characters you want to mention? I want to mention Kyle's mom. That was
That's
good.
She's also on my list.
It was between her and Rav. And so I almost picked her when you're like coffee shop guy. I was like, oh, I could pick his mom then. But I figured we would at least mention her.
Yeah.
She was good. Donna was cool.
I was going to throw her out too.
Man.
She was my number 2.
Was she really?
Yeah, because like, even though her and Kyle had kind of like broken up, even though they didn't really have like a solid reason to, like she was there for him during the whole like funeral part,
Oh yeah, she was one of the last
and she
ones
was
to
literally like the last panel was like she was the last person to leave, and I'm like, that's like a really like a solid thing to do, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Did you have any other
Nope.
characters? Nope. Okay. You're like, what about Soranik? She did her best doctor work she could.
She did. But she didn't push a doctor out of a door and then lock it with a board.
He's like, should have logged it the first time. Did you have a least favorite scene?
I wasn't a huge fan when that alien princess pretty much threw herself at Kyle.
When she was naked.
Well, just that whole scene.
That's because Guy shows up.
It just felt like that's not the reason I don't like
it. Come on,
It
Patrick.
just felt like a teenage boy's fantasy at that point.
I mean, only if you think Deja Thoris is a teenage boy's fantasy. Do you?
Could be.
I'm just saying. Princess of Mars. It's pretty much all of Edgar Rice Burroughs' books.
That's true.
I mean, if anything, it's just fantasy sci-fi princess tropes.
Right.
It's tropey.
It's tropey.
But yeah, just the Princess of Mars. Deja Thoris.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like, I didn't hate that. Kyle wasn't immediately taking advantage of it, though.
No, he wasn't.
He was trying to be respectful about it. That was something we didn't even talk about, the whole gladiatorial arena. Yeah, I like that he fought well against the alien in the arena.
Without his powers.
Yeah, he vowed not to use any of his abilities, and then as soon as he had to kill it, whatever the giant alien thing, he's like, nope, I'm not going to do it. And
I always roll my eyes at that sometimes if it's a gladiator thing, and it's like, they're just going to drag that guy off and kill him anyway.
I know, right?
Doesn't make you better than...
depending on his culture, he might kill himself.
Yeah, that's true too. So, yeah, I mean, I get it that it's like, Kyle's like, I'm not just going to kill that guy, but technically he agreed to fight to the death.
Mm-hmm. He did.
So, he did break the rules. Yep. Like, he did break the rules that he agreed to. Even though he's like, I won, so it doesn't matter. And it's like, but technically, do you still win if you break the rules?
Technically, it's a draw. Nobody died.
That's true. And he's good at drawing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it worked.
But anyway, that was, it was sci-fi princess tropey.
Right.
Throwing herself.
That's probably why I wasn't a huge fan of it. Too tropey.
What was your least favorite scene, Wilhelm?
It was kind of the part with the Green Lantern, and I don't mean like the regular Green Lantern.
You mean the Green Lantern with a different font?
The Green Lantern with a different font.
With the crook and the lantern.
Yeah. It's
the
this
crook
weird,
like
the
Chinese,
staff. Right.
This weird like Chinese looking like lantern thing, and
multiversal shenanigans.
I'm like, it's probably gonna come up again.
Oh,
later
100%.
Because
maybe
Captain Adam kind of showed up. Well, he didn't kind of show up. He did show up.
Right.
And yeah, that whole segment just kind of felt like they were just trying to set up one thing, but they didn't know how. Yeah, they didn't quite know how to do it, so they had to just kind of make this stuff up.
Did you also think it ended rather abruptly?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden he's like, can you help me with this bleed thing? And then all of a sudden he's like, and job's done.
Right.
It's like,
because the whole point of the lantern is like somebody had to be inside of it so that these heroes from another world could be outside of it.
Right.
Is what it seemed like.
So it seemed like.
And so like as soon as they came out, the others just went back in. So it's just like, well, they didn't actually have to fight anybody.
Yeah, but it also didn't feel like it's like they didn't outsmart anybody or anything.
Yeah, like
like it was just like,
it was like, well, I'm just gonna walk out.
Leave, then the job is done.
Right.
And so it just seemed like Captain Adam just opened up a door. They walked out and won.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you on that. I was trying to think if I had a least favorite part, and I actually had forgotten about some of these more random feeling moments. So I'm gonna say that story arc specifically, I would say that those like 2 issues or whatever, just kind of random.
Yeah.
It's just a bit random. But at least the gladiatorial one, like he did that to make up for when his doppelganger Nero self was causing problems.
Yes.
Like the plot of that had a purpose.
It did.
But
and I wasn't.
The Green Lantern thing didn't really have a purpose unless it's setting up something in the wider DC universe later.
I wasn't really upset about.
No, I know you were talking about that one part. I was saying I'm with Will on saying the beef that I would have with the story or section is more about the that Green Lantern Flash Atom thing.
Yeah.
But
And to be specific, if we didn't do so before, we're not actually talking about the Green Lanterns. It's like it
or
was
the
weird.
Flash.
Yeah, the heroes that showed up were called the same as heroes of that we know of, but they
were
they
different.
were different.
But they weren't our heroes.
Right.
Did
Like
you? What?
the part where Kyle goes into the lantern and he finds those kids and he makes constructs of both of them. And he's like, did you kids see either of these people? And the one kid's like, oh, she's hot. And then you see this panel where it looks like he's trying to grope.
That's true. That might have been my least favorite.
That was like
A little kid groping a construct.
I don't remember that.
You didn't see.
I didn't pay
Oh
attention.
my gosh.
I saw that. I was just
I
like,
saw it too.
what kid's first response is just go straight for the chest?
Maybe it's because it was fake. I don't know.
I
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I will say with the one part I liked in that story arc is when he makes the construct for them to ride in, and he starts with the penny, the quarter rocket machine.
That was funny.
And they're like, "We're not babies," and so he makes them like a Mad Max motorcycle and sidecar. That was funny.
Yeah, that
I
was
liked
pretty
that.
funny.
I was like, that's much more suitable for boys their age.
Sure.
Did you have a least favorite character? Was it Guy?
He's number 2.
He's your number 2.
Right.
I thought his comment in that scene where he says something super inappropriate
Always.
about the disrobed lady, but
Yes, he did.
But anyway, who was?
No, I remember what it was. He's like,
wait, no.
You can say it.
It's not
You
that
want to?
bad.
Okay,
He's like, Kyle tells him, you should have knocked. He's like, I didn't see any knockers before I came in, but
that's
now,
what it was.
That's what it was.
It was a pun,
Yeah.
now I do see something.
a boob pun.
Yeah.
So, who did you like less than Guy Garner?
Graven.
Oh, Darkseid's whiny child?
I thought he was well written. I just didn't like him.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Sure.
The way he was treating Kyle during that fight, asking how his mom is and all that.
Yeah.
He was a big jerk.
He was a big jerk.
Yep.
Powerful, too.
Sure.
Okay, Will, who was your least favorite character?
My least favorite.
Please be Guy. Please be Guy.
No.
It'll never
He
be
would
Guy.
never pick Guy.
Never. They're the kids in the lantern.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
The children.
They're just annoying.
Yeah, and they don't do anything.
They don't do anything. They're not for anything.
Like, what
They're
happened?
super selfish, too. Like, we should have had them fix our tree house. We're going to get in trouble. And it's like, what?
Well,
we
I
were
mean-
trapped inside of this alternate...
I didn't think that was...
As a
that-
kid, I probably would have said that as well. So I guess I'm super selfish,
But
too.
think about this. You're a kid. You're trapped in a space in between worlds.
Sure.
Traumatized. And your first thought is, man, we should have this magic guy with a ring fix our treehouse. So we
Yeah.
don't get in
Yeah,
trouble.
because they
don't
just
wanna get in
got
trouble.
out, and they're like, now we're going to have to get spanked.
How did they get home?
They walked.
Like, they were at some random beach somewhere.
I don't know.
Don't know.
We
Do
never have
you
to worry
know where
about those
your children
kids.
are?
No.
You got that reference, right?
I did.
The old...
Yeah.
Okay. Will's not old enough to
I
know
know.
that. So, my least favorite character. We had Graven.
We did.
We had annoying kids.
We did. Please be Guy.
And mine was Graven.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to circle back.
Wow,
I
you
was
guys
gonna
are
throw-
vibing now.
I've thought about throwing another one out there, but I was just like, who is this doofus,
Just,
man? I don't know.
I'm the son of a god.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
He gave off prep boy
you know what?
vibes.
You know what? There's another one. There's another least favorite character we could throw out there.
Do you know who my father is?
And that's the Monitor.
Well, sure.
That guy was lame
That guy.
too.
I've
By
got
the
another
way,
one.
you guys would know more about the Monitors if we would have read. So my original plan to work us towards this epic Green Lantern thing.
I don't know, Chris. I know a lot about monitors.
Eventually, we were going to read Crisis on Infinite Earths, and we would have read the Infinite Crisis stuff, and you would have had this big picture painted, and so when monitors show up, you would have been like, holy cow, those guys are really important. But you guys are probably like, okay, well, they watch stuff.
Yeah. They just keep track of things.
Yeah. But
In my own time, I might have to go back and read some of that stuff that we skipped. So.
And there's a bad guy that ties into them that's actually really matters and is the scariest mamma jamma that is just about in the DC universe.
Anyway, I've got another runner-up and least
Another one that hasn't been mentioned
is Bug Lord.
Bug Lord.
From the Gladiator.
Oh, like the guy who was...
Bug Eyes. Yeah, like whatever.
Yeah,
Viceroy.
He was the gropey, gross one.
Yeah. I actually thought that Pat might pick that as his favorite.
Because he
least
was
favorite
grody.
Character.
Yeah, he was all handsy with the princess without her offering.
He was up there.
That's the difference. She offered to Kyle.
That's true.
She didn't offer to Bugman.
Right.
For obvious reasons.
I did think the line when she was disrobed and talking with Kyle about them hanging out, and Kyle goes, well, it appears like things are compatible.
Right.
Because she's an alien.
Right,
Like, that's the joke,
yes,
right?
That was good.
Is technically... Because, like, we make assumptions about humanoid aliens. She looked like a human. But it is funny that he made the comment where he's like, well, it
parts look compatible, so...
That made me laugh because I was like, that's a funny observation about being in space.
Yes.
But yeah, lots of... Did you have another grody man?
Not grody man. I forgot about... we did favorite scenes, right?
Yes.
Sorry, this just popped back into my head.
It's okay.
I didn't write it down, but the mute girl comes back.
Yes.
Right after Kyle's mom dies, he's back at the resort, and she paints like this kind of simple painting.
Yeah, it's like a singular rose.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm sorry for your loss. And she leaves it outside the door.
And it's like a large canvas. It's not like a card.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's large.
And then you go inside and Kyle's painted pictures of like all the like women that have died in his life, basically. Like everybody he cared about that has passed away.
Yep.
That was a good moment.
It was. I'm glad you mentioned that. That was worth mentioning.
Yes.
That was the by far the best moment with the retreat girl.
Yes.
Yeah. It was good.
It definitely wasn't her conversation.
Wow. Nope. Wow. You're correct.
I am.
So, is there anything else you guys want to? Oh no, we gotta rate it. We didn't rate it. Out of 5 lanterns, 5 painted lanterns.
There you go. That works.
What about you, Patrick?
4.5.
4.5. Oh, I like this half a little better than the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're vibing again, Pat.
Yes.
4.5.
Wow. Now I feel pressure to give it a 4.5
You
so
don't
we can keep
need
it
to.
rolling. I'm going to give it a 4 again.
Nice.
I thought it was different, but I felt about the same. I will say the emotional stuff was better.
That's why I gave it a half point more.
Yep.
But I feel like if I was going to rate the series completely, I would probably it's probably a 4.
Sure.
So, yeah, nice. Yeah. I think that the next reading assignment is back to Green Lantern. Is that right? Does that sound right to you?
So I can finally read my book.
Yeah. Yeah, your big omnibus.
Yep.
You're going to go back to that, or to finally.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
Actually,
the
the Green Lantern stuff.
Let me
did
double
core.
check so that the listener knows.
Then Ion.
What?
We did Core, and then we did Ion.
Which makes me think it should
Pretty
be
sure it's
Green
Green
Lantern
Lantern.
next. So
But don't listen to me.
yes, it is Green Lantern 14 through 20.
Sweet.
14 through 20. Also known in the world of trade paperbacks and graphic novels as Hal Jordan Most Wanted.
Cool.
That's the name of it, Will.
Now we're gonna find
Okay,
it.
I
Hal
will
Jordan
definitely.
most wanted.
I will definitely not remember that.
Oh man,
You could just listen to the podcast.
this. Oh, I really like some of the stuff coming up.
Great.
I see it on the covers. Get ready,
That's a teaser.
because we're gonna have some fun.
I also looked at the covers, and I'm like, I think I finally know what part we're coming up on. Well, not no, but
So after
No.
this, we will have a Green Lantern core story arc, and then I believe our big event, first big event,
Nice.
which don't ask me issue number. That's gonna be. We're gonna have to just figure it out.
We'll get there.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
we usually do.
Do we?
Sometimes.
Along
we
with
seem
each
to.
other and the listener,
All right.
we trudge through it.
We do.
So, Patrick, do you have anything else for us?
Nope.
Will?
Nope.
Well, I think we all know what time it is.
It's time for me to say that I'm Patrick.
This is Will.
And I'm Chris, and we are Guys with Issues.
So many issues.
Still.
You can catch Guys with Issues anywhere you find your favorite podcasts.
Or check out our website at guyswithissues.com where you can listen, find reading lists to follow along, and get to know us better.
Send us emails to longbox@guyswithissues.com and tell us your thoughts. Send us suggestions on what we should read next. We would love to hear from our listener.
You hear that, Elon Musk? Nope.
Musky.
Ilani.
Ilani. That sounds like a
That is-
fantasy thing.
No, that is 100% going to
Ilani.
be the cologne that he comes out with.
Ilani.
Ilani.
You mean the one he already
You know those
has.
like 90s commercials with the cologne commercials where they're just like, Ilani.
That's what he wears now.
Probably.
Although I feel like it would be a missed marketing opportunity
musk
to not
of
use
Elon.
Musk's musk.
Musk.
That would be his cologne.
Yeah.
We're talking about
What?
Did I say cologne or perfume?
Oh,
You said cologne.
Okay.
You
well,
thought he said clone.
he could
Yeah.
he could have his perfume be Ilani and his cologne be Musk.
Ilani Musk.
I straight up thought he said that his clone,
Oh no, I did
his
not.
clone's name is going to be Ilani. And I'm like, oh, that's
That's what I
interesting.
thought he said at first when he first said the word.
I
But
just
then I
need to-
realized it was.
Continue to not enunciate because it's better that way.